this class. So, as I said, SQL is structured query language. It's just a programming language like any other programming language, but this is a database programming language. So, it's the backbone of data manipulation and retrieval in database. If you want to retrieve data, if you have any data in database, you have to use SQL. There's nothing you use apart from SQL if a data is in a database, because that's just the language you have to use to interact with the database. So you're going to learn how to write queries. We learn how to analyze data. We learn how to clean data, and then we learn how to manage data using SQL. This class is going to be interactive. I'm going to be given assignments after every class, and then we are going to organize quiz also for every chapter. So each section we're going to be building based on the previous sections. So this is the first section, which is introduction, and then the basic queries. So our learning objectives is just for us to understand what SQL is all about and why it is crucial for data analysis. And then we're going to also learn how to retrieve data using basic queries. So this is not something I see we might not achieve today because of the two. We need to go handy, like we need to go together. So I already did introduction to SQL, and setting up your SQL workbench is as easy. It's very simple, just like installing any other application. But even though there are technicalities at the end, which you might have to create a username and password, I drop YouTube videos in the link so that you guys can be able to follow the introduction, to follow the installation process. So the next thing we're supposed to look at is basic syntax, which is a select from and where. So I'm going to head over now to Workbench and then introduce us to the environment of the Workbench and how you can navigate that. So let's go. This is Workbench. There are different other tools. There's XAMPP SQL, there's PGAdmin, which is Postgres, there's MySQL Workbench. But I choose SQL Workbench because it's easier. There's SQLite. That SQLite is very easy, but I prefer this Workbench because it has more functionality to me than the other light. So I'm going to open it and then we're going to navigate the environment together and see how it is and how we can exploit. All right. When you first opened your Workbench after you download it, this is the environment you're going to get. But instead of all this, you're going to just have this local instance. So, hello?
Your screen, yeah, we can't see your screen. I don't know if you're just talking, we can't see anything.
Okay, you can't see my screen.
Yes, you
Oh,
said we're going to get familiar with the SQL workbench.
all right.
Oh, but
It's
I can't see
actually
your
my
screen.
fault. I forgot to share my screen. That's the problem. Are you seeing right now?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Okay. So this is the Workbench environment. After you open your Workbench environment, you're going to see welcome to MySQL Workbench. And then under these connections, you're going to see local instance, which is the only thing you're going to be having in your own because it's a new tool which you haven't used yet. But these are just connections I've created over time. So, hello? Hello, can you turn off your mic if you're not talking? All right, thank you. Okay, this is the environment, and then we're going to start from the top here. So this is your home button. Anywhere you are, you're going to use this home button to come back to this environment. And then this file, you can use this to create data models. Hello? You can use the new model to create new data models. can use this to create a new query tab. That's where you're going to write your queries. You want to write your everything you want about your data. You want to make findings about your data. Then this is open model. That's open already written model. That's if you've written a model already or you've constructed a model already, it's going to come from this control plus, or you can use shortcuts control plus E to open a new tab, control plus N to open a new model, and then this open model is just to open a already written model. Then the open SQL scripts. This is just to open the script also you've written. And then there's open recent. This open recent are recent projects you've done on the workbench too. And then you can use this to close the tab and then use this to exit the whole tool. If you go on to the edit, on the edit, you're going to see the undo function, which is the normal control plus Z, and then the redo function, which is control plus Y, cut, copy, paste, delete, select all, and then you can find and replace. This is just basic and normal things we already know about Windows environment, or I would say application environment. In this is preference. You can use this to set your preference. That's what you want your workbench to look like, how you want it to be. This is just, you can leave your own the way you want, but I love my own to be in a way I can easily interact with it. I don't know what's happening. Somebody,
Yeah, I'm trying to download it now. It's telling me to download something C++.
oh, your laptop doesn't have um there's an application that helps handle programming packages on Windows. If your laptop is not having it, just hang on. I'm going to after this class, I'm going to direct you on how to do that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So I was saying that okay, the next thing is on the view. This view is just going to take you back to home. This is the home. This is going to select the next main tab and then select previous tabs. That's just if you have multiple tabs open. And then database. This is to connect to a database. If you have like I said about Jumia, if Jumia gives you their login and their link database. You can use this to connect to your database. You can use this to manage the connections to the database. This is for reverse engineering. This is for technical SQL, not just for data analysis. So this is schema transfer wizard. You can use this to transfer a schema from one database to another. And you can use this to migrate from one database to another database. And then you can use this to edit type mappings for generic migration. This is just migration tools. Unless you're a database administrator, I don't think you are going to be needing all these three. That's all these four, I think. This reverse engineer, all of them. These are mostly for data administrators, or database administrators. Then this is tools. You can use this for your configuration. That's to configure your connections and then restore connections. This is for shell. Shell is just like your command prompt. You can use this for that to manage that. And then this is for script. You can open a scripting shell. You can use this to write a script, open script, run a script file, run workbench script, install other plugins. We are data analysts, so we're not going to be using all these plugins and others. But maybe if you want to go further and then look into it deeper, you're going to need the plugins. This is just plugin manager and then the help box. That's just it about the bar up there. Then this is just an extension of this. This is giving you home, and this is going to just show you the number of models you have. And then that's all. This is just an overview. It's just more or less of like telling you everything about the tool. So that's just it about this. So let's go. You have now the connections. The connections are just you trying to create a, it's just like a country. You're creating a country whereby you're going to collect states in in that country, which is your data. So you're creating this connection whereby you can be able to create multiple database to import or connect to multiple database within that connection. That's just what the connections is all about. You can use this to do set to set something, but it's not part of it. Just allow it. You can use this to search search for a connection you have. If you have multiple connections and you can't find the connection you want on time, so you can use the search function to just find you the connection. So the first thing you do when you come to this environment is you're going to come over to this plus and then click on the plus. So it's going to open to set up a connection. You're going to set up your database connection. So if Jumia decides that okay, data analyst, we want you to do this for us. We want you to make findings for us. Here is our information. So they are going to the connection is name is based on the name you want it to be. So we're going to give it a name. This is I'll just say EDTS SQL class. Let me just say 6. So this is just a name for us to understand. And then the connection method, they are going to tell you the connection method they use for their database, whether TCP or IP or local socket, standard, all this. They are going to tell you which of them they are using. But for you, if you're not connecting to a database, you want to create a connection just for you to import your data and make analysis and do what you want, you're going to leave it on the standard TCP IP. And then, sorry, parameters. Okay, it's always going to be on these parameters. You are not going to edit anything. And then the host name, the company is going to give you their host name, it's going to give you the port, going to give you the username, and then the password. This default schema is you are, who is going to define that. If you have a default schema already in your SQL, you can type a default schema or leave it blank. You can always go back to it later. Then SSL, all these are just connections you can do. All these informations are going to be given to you. And then advanced, this is just it too about connections. But for this, you're just going to leave it like this. In case you didn't save your password in the vault, it's going to ask you for password if you click on OK. But mine password is already in the vault. That's it's stored locally in my laptop. So anywhere I come in, it's just going to access the password on its own. So right now I've clicked OK. If we scroll down right now, you can see we have it right now, but it's showing via pipe, which is wrong. I think it's wrong. I'm going to delete this connection and do it again. All right, create a connection. All right, say EDTS SQL class 5. So okay. All right, you can see it's back to other normal right now. So you're going to click on that and then wait for it to open. Now it has opened an environment for you again. This is a new environment for us to look at. So this is where you type your queries, you write all your queries the way you want. And then I've talked about all of this already. So we're just going to come over here. You can use this to open a script folder. This is where you save all your script. You can use this to open your script. So this is you can use this to save your script. Then you can use this to execute a statement, just a portion of the statement. Let's say you have multiple statements, you've written multiple queries. You can just use one of these. This is you can use this thunder or this lightning sign to execute. I'm going to show all of this when we start it proper. You can use this to execute your query. You can use this now to execute the statement under the cursor. So this is your cursor. This blinking, this blink is your cursor. So anything before the cursor is going to run if you use this. Then you can use this to execute explained command. You can use it just more for explanation to execute an explained command. And you can use this to stop a query from being executing. If it's taking more time and then maybe you don't want it to run again, you can use that to cancel it. And then this is just to toggle whether execution should continue after a failed statement. If you have multiple statements and the executions are running, you can decide to use this button to make decisions between them. Let me check what's happening. Okay. All right. And then all this is just commit current transactions just for minor reasons. We're all going to get to that. This is to limit your rows, to limit your number of rows. You can limit it to 50, limit it to the way you want. That's for data. If you want to display data, you can limit the number of rows you want it to be. You can use this to save a current statement you've just written. You can use this to beautify, that's to make your script look beautiful. You can use this to show and find editors. That's just all these are just editors. And then if you opened your SQL, you're going to have something like this. Yours is going to look like this. So you have to use this to toggle. You can close this, you don't need it. Close this so that you can have a clean space. You need this too because this is your execution. Is for your execution. Any code you're writing and you decide to execute it, is going to show you your result. And then this other one is going to show you the number, the schemas. You can decide to close it, but I I I want my own to always remain that way so that I'll know which schema I'm working on because I have multiple schemas I'm working on. So that's just it about the environment. So the next thing we're going to be looking at is let me see from our we're just going to look at our basic um queries. So basically there are three most used queries in SQL, which is the select, and then the where and the from. So these three queries are the standard queries we'll be using all through. So when you're writing a script, your select statement usually comes first. Sometimes that's it's not always, but most times your select statement is always the first. Because your select statement is just like telling you to go and you're telling you to go and fetch data from the database. But it's trying to also tell you that this is a column. We want to retrieve data from a database. So this is the column we want to retrieve because we can select and then call the name of a column. Let's say there's name in the column. Sorry. So you can select name. Name could be a column. So we can use this select to call a name, to call any column in the database. Then if we don't want to call a column, we want to call the whole table, we can use this. Asterisk is for all. So the asterisk is going to call all the columns instead of just one column. So that's just about the select statement. So this is how it's written. So you're going to have something like this: select column 1, column 2, column 3. Continuously, if you want to mention 100 columns the way you want, you can keep mentioning the columns the way you want. So that's all about the select statement. Then the next thing is the from. The from is just and just to indicate the table from which you want to retrieve data. You can see we have multiple schemas here, and in a schema, you might have more than 10 tables, 100 tables, depending on the way the, the information was designed or the model was designed. You can have multiple tables. So you have to specify the name of the table you want to retrieve that data from. So that's where from comes in. So from is just your data, your table name. That's all. It's just your table name. All right. So that's all about from. Then the next one is where. Your way is just a normal statement that helps you filter records based on specific condition. If you're just you want to just see the whole data, you can just use this too, and then that's all. But if you also want to display your result based on a certain condition, you're going to use the where clause. So for the where statement, so your where is going to tell you the condition. Just for condition, you use it for condition. So that's all. So this is the basic syntax or the basic queries we're going to be looking at from day one to the last. This is what we'll be going through all in this course. So let's say normal conditions. This is just like a Power BI in code. Power BI is all about clicking options, and then it's doing the work for you. But in SQL, you're going to write the statements yourself. So the condition is just you can just say where um let's say the name is Fernandez. Okay, you can then select name. You can use the first column as select name from table students where name. That's the condition. You can say where name is equal to Fernandez, and it's going to display you information on Fernandez. So that's just how the condition I'm talking about works. So let me just write a normal query. This was just a demonstration. Let me just write a normal query for us. So we can also select first name for a table that has first name and last name. We can just say select first name, and then we can use last name. Also, we want to just get first name and last name. And then the name of the table we want to get this information from, we can just say students. And then we want to state our condition, I mean. So your condition is going to be where department, we can just call this department. So we say where department is equal to. We're going to now state exactly where we want to get this data. Let's assume our department is Excel, Power BI, and SQL. So we can just use SQL for this class. So if we have a table that contains your information, we're going to get this. We're going to get your first name. That's all of you that are taking SQL course. We're going to get your name being displayed. So this is just the start. I'm going to provide us with a data set in our next class so that we can follow along and then we interact with it together. So that's just it. Then there's one thing I need to tell you again. Um, in SQL, you don't just start writing your SQL statements just like that. The first thing you're going to do is your caps lock must always be on. You're typing everything in capital letter, except your user defined as the things you have on your own. But anything that's reserved from for SQL, that's you can see these blue words. Let me just use this. You can see these words are highlighted as blue. This means these words are reserved SQL words. All right. So when you're writing these reserved SQL words, make sure they are all in capital letter. You're leaving your caps lock on all through when you're writing queries. Then the next thing I'm going to tell you is you're going to learn how to format your code very well, because you can't just, if this is two conditions or this is two queries, you can't write your queries like this and then you expect someone to open it and read and understand. One thing about programming is you don't know who is coming after you, or you yourself too might get exhausted one day and you might open a script or open a query or open your code, and then you might not know exactly what you were doing that day. It's normal with programming. So this brings us to what is called comments. So we're going to look at what comments is in SQL. Comments are just you trying to explain your code to yourself or to the person that is going to be looking at your code, or to the person that might come after you. So there are two types of comments. All right. There are two types of comments in SQL. The first way is The first way is inline comments. It's not inline comments. I mean, the first way is just single line comment. Single line comment is just it's just you trying to explain a single code. Okay, you can use a single line comment to just say this. This is you can just see double hyphens, right? Use double hyphens and then a space, and then you can tell the person that is coming what to do. You can just say basic SQL syntax. Always remember that you must comment your queries or you must comment your code for easy readability. So that's just single line, how single line comment is. So that means everything that you're writing after this um, double hyphen is going to be highlighted as this. And when you are executing this query, if SQL will understand that okay, you are using this as a description or you're using this as an explanation, and it's not going to execute it because it understands that this is a comment. So let's look at the multi-line comment. So in the multi-line comment, it's just a slash with an asterisk. All right. So you can see as I press the asterisk, it highlighted the code, the whole queries in blue. So anything I'm going to write after this is going to be highlighted as blue. So it's going to take it as a comment. All right. So you can use this to write a long paragraph or a long text or multiple lines. You want to write multiple comments explaining your code. You can use the multi-line to explain your code. All right. Esther, you raise your hand.
Yes, sorry, my screen is not really showing what you are presenting. I can't see what you are presenting. So I want to ask if you are recording so
Yes,
I
I'm
can watch
recording
it
the class.
later. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. All right. So if you keep writing scripts right now, it's still going to think you are commenting. It's still going to think you're commenting. So what you need to do is you have to close the comment, which is you have to use asterisk. Then this time you use asterisk and then you use this to close it. So this is a multi-line comment. So anything that goes in between this slash and asterisk is going to be underlined as blue. So let's look at it now. So you can see we are writing something down and it's bringing a normal color for us because we have already closed the comments and everything. So that's just it about basic code and then how to write your code. So just take this into considerations when you're doing your project or when you're doing personal practice or you're doing your usual stuffs with SQL. Just know that you need to comment your code and you need to use either a single line or a double line. It's not wrong to use this. It's not wrong to use this. It's not wrong to keep on using this. It's not wrong. But to some extent, it doesn't make much sense. Like imagine you have to write a long note that have to fill the whole screen right now. And then you keep on using double hyphen to use yeah, I mean you keep using single line to comment your code. It's not going to actually be given. So this will provide you with everything that you need to write inside your comments. So that's just it about this um environment. Someone is saying something, right? Nope. Okay. Okay, that's all. I wanted us to go far, but I can't go far. I don't want to. I talked about it. I don't want us to be left behind. All right. I don't want us to be left behind. I want us to be together to carry ourselves along and then be able to help each other when we are confused or when we have problems. If I start doing this now, despite there's a video, if I record this video and then post it for you guys to follow, it's not actually that given to me. I expect everything to be live, everything to be practical, and then we'll be able to grasp what we're doing all together. So that's just all for today. Next week, I'm going to um give you not just an I'm not going to give assignment this week. I'm going to give you links for you to go and find out about one or two things that I might have left out. Okay, Fernandez, you want to say something?
Okay, before you end today, please can you like give us the direction on how to download? Maybe you can just even use
Right
it.
now,
I can
right?
share my screen. Yes, I can share my screen now.
Okay, let
I
me
don't know
show
how you
you
want to do it.
the SQL or that your C++.
I don't know how to use anyone. This is the SQL. Just it's telling
It's
me
all
to
right.
get one.
It's all right. I left the link on the group, so
Yeah,
let me
that
just
I
let
was
me
able
just
to.
round up so that I'll show you. So
Okay, thank you.
this is you can go to Google, you can search, you don't have to follow the link. So you can just type MySQL Workbench, right? If you type MySQL Workbench, right, it's going to come up, all right? Forget this one by JetBrains. Forget about it. We want to download directly from the SQL website. So you scroll down, you can either use this link or you can use this. You can just click on this downloader, it's going to take you to the site. You're all following, right?
Yes.
Okay. So the network connection, the internet connection here is below power, so I don't know. All right. So you can see right here, there's this is the site. You can just go ahead and then download. Maybe you click downloads here, and then sorry, I think I'm taking you guys too far. Taking you guys too far. Let's just go back to the home. Well, sorry about that. Let's just go ahead. I think this first one is going to take you directly to where you can be able to download. That one is going to take you. There are other tools you might need to download to come with your SQL. Like this SQL MySQL connection, MySQL Connector is also an app you'll need to download for you to be able to connect Excel to SQL, Power BI to Excel, or Python to Excel. So let's let's just see. Is someone raising their hand? Nope. All right, it's taking long. Okay, you can see right here. The latest version is version 8.0.42. So you can be able to select your operating system. If you're using Windows, just leave it because I use SQL for Windows. That's why it takes me to the Windows version. So you can use your operating system here. If you're using Ubuntu, that's Linux, you can easily select Ubuntu. If you're using Red Hat Enterprise Linux, that's Oracle Linux and others, you can do that. If you are using Fedora, you can select Fedora. If you're using Mac OS, that's for Apple users, you can just select Mac OS. If you want to get the source code of the program, it's an open source program. So it's open for use. You can just click the source code, it's going to download. But what will you do with the source code? That's only if you're a developer. So you're going to leave it as window and then you're coming here to click download. All right. So let's see. It's going to take you to MySQL community downloads. So this is a community version. That means it's free. There's enterprise version. That's what big companies use for. But for this one, we're using the community version. So it's going to take you to the community version. Forget about all this login or sign up. You can see no thanks, just start my download. So go ahead and click it and wait for your download to start. All right, you can see your download is here. All right, so you can see it's downloading. Okay, okay, we have 15 minutes for this call to end, but I'm very sure we'll beat it before the call ends. I just want it to download so that I think I need an update too because the last time I say check for updates. Okay, that's not trouble this line. Check now. I'll check about it. I'll check it later. I think I'm using an old version, so let me see so that I can show you the whole process. All right, we're already done with this. I can now close it. Let me just close it. We'll come back to it. All right, it's downloaded. You can go to your downloads and check it, or you can open it directly from there. But I'm using my downloads so that I can have more access to it. Sorry, it's refreshing. Okay, you can see here it is. So all you need to do is you just double click on it. All right. Okay, that's for those having smart screen, this is going to pop up for you. But if you don't have smart screen on, it's going to take you to let me see, why is the smart screen not loading? Okay, you can see you can just go ahead and install anyway. All right, this is how the wizard is going to come. So you just click on next and you can use this to change the directory, but it's not in your place to do it. Just leave it the way you see it. Go on to next and you leave the installation as a complete installation. Don't custom it. All the tools you're going to be needing them because the tools will come with the SQL shell, server, um, the workbench itself. I think there are 4 tools you're going to be installing. So if you click on next, this is just everything. So you click on install. All right. Okay. Okay. It's trying to install on another installation. That's why we're getting this removing files. So it's going to remove the files first before it goes ahead to install. So let's just see. Removing backup files. There are no backup files. All right. Copy new files. Okay, that's all. All right. Your own is going to take time because it's a new installation, but this is an already done installation, so it's going to just synchronize the installation together. So let's just wait for it to copy. All right, this is taking time. Let's just come back and do something. I'll get back to it. All right. Okay, this is the curriculum. I'm going to send the curriculum to the group after now. So in our next class, we're going to be looking at how you can filter data using and, or, in, and between. We're still going to start from the basic syntax, but since I'm going to present to you a new data set, we'll be using that data set to follow along. So we're going to start from the basic syntax again. We look at how we can filter data with and, or, in, and between. We look at how we can sort data also, and then we see how we limit results. You know, in Power BI, there's limits to top 10, top 5, top 2. So that's just the same thing we'll be doing in SQL. So after that, our next class will be on aggregation and data analysis with SQL, in which we're going to look at aggregation. That's we're looking at the count function, sum function, average, min, max, and then group by, having, distinct, union, all these are going to be in our next upper class, not next rather. And then we're going to look at principle of database design and relationships. That's the last class. Then the next thing will be our final project. So in our next class, I'll start giving you data set for your final project. So let's go back here. Okay, right? It's already installed. You can just go ahead and then click finish. Wait for it to open automatically. Okay. Okay. All right. Mine is going to open automatically like this because it's just an update. But yours is going to open in such a way that you find yourself being told to create a username and password. Okay, where you'll be able to create username and password. So you create a username. Don't worry, the links to the videos have dropped. If you want to, if you're stuck, you just use the links to get more insight on what you'll be doing during the installation. That's just everything you need to do about the installation process. And then for those of you that might get C++ problem, I'm going to also post a video link on how to go about it. All right. Because if you don't have that program on your laptop, you're not going to run any programming IDE on your laptop. You're never going to run any programming IDE in your laptop. That's just like a functionality for programmers. Okay, so you really need it. So I'm just going to drop the video in the group. Fernandez, please just take the group for that. I don't want to do because it's a really long process and it involves you're going to actually download a lot of tools where you install them one after the other. So that's just going to take time and then it's going to be fine. Okay, Visual C++, right? Right. We're going to do that. I'm going to drop the video in the group. So that's all for today's class. We will see in the next class. And if you have any question or you have anything to say, you can say before we can wrap up the class for today. If you have anything at all to say, question, hello, no question.
Is today's class recorded?
Yes, it's recorded. Your
Okay,
mic is
because
back.
at some point, yes, I've been able to fix the mic, but I think my network connection kept going on and off, and I couldn't really see the screen. At some point, the sharing, I couldn't see what you were doing.
Okay, it's all right.
So
It's
I will
recorded.
want to watch the video to be able to.
Same here. Oh, I also have the same issue here. I didn't really see all the things you do
It's
because my.
okay. I'm going to drop the video link to this class for you because I can't upload it to um WhatsApp directly. So I'm going to drop a link for you in case you need it. You can go and download it or watch it. So let me